Hi everyone, welcome back to the Flashlight channel. We're back with another one of these impromptus that we are doing on current affairs, and the most recent one being the incident or the saga going on in northern Uganda, which is mainly Karamoja. And anyone who has been following, we know that we've seen that yeah, people have been killed, and the general, I don't know if he's still a general or not, he said he's going to invade them, but that yeah, before we get started, we've got Dr. Ahewa Rogers, we've got Dr. James Mugenyi, and we've got Mr. Sam Kayondo. And maybe we'll be joined by a few other people. If you're here for the first time, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss programs. We shall be doing more of these as time goes on. My name is Sarah, and welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. So I don't know how much you've been following and what you have seen out there, but through my lenses, the first thing that hit me yesterday was the tweet that the general, whose name shall not be mentioned, about him invading Karamoja. I mean, he said the Karamojong are playing with his army, and he is going to, actually I read it, he says, the Karamojong criminals killed my soldiers in cold blood. They will be held to pay for that. If they want to avoid retribution, they better get in touch with our RDCs and commanders in the region now. Otherwise, let us see who the real men are. I mean, we're talking about a leader warning people of Karamoja. And the other one was, yes, so that's one of the tweets. Oh, my Karamojong brothers, we have begged you to stop the life of robbery and violence. We have begged you to stop attacking your neighbors, but to no avail. You have refused all appeals. Well, now we are coming, and hell is coming with us. So the real question is, why are the Karamojong fighting the UPDF people? I mean, are they provoked? Is it self-defense?
Let me take on it simply since I am at work and I might want to run away so fast. But
Sure.
I worked in Karamoja in 1998.
Yes.
I worked in Karamoja for 8 months, and that period for me looked like 8 years. One of the reasons why I left Karamoja was the violence I saw in Karamoja. And the violence I saw in Karamoja, much as you can say that these people are cattle rustlers, the violence was basically from the UPDF. They are an unequal force. And then that said, Karamoja has gone through a disarmament process for a very long time, and we have been shown that Karamoja is peaceful. They disarmed them. So when you see these current events again starting up and then almost leading to a war, or whatever you can call it, it's surprising me. What was the disarmament process all about? Who was disarmed? And that also said, Karamoja, we know, is an area that has precious metals, minerals. Okay, right from the Busia border, starting from my district, I come from Busia. Right from Busia along that corridor up to Karamoja, we have gold. And Karamoja also has the stones that are now quarried, that are used for making cement. You are wondering, with all the peace processes and the excavating of minerals, Karamoja still has to be what it is today. You know, poverty in Karamoja stands at 60%. Then followed by my area, which is Bukedi at 47%. And when you look at those two areas I've mentioned, Karamoja and my district, we have gold, we have cement, we have phosphates in Tororo, we have iron and all other minerals. But when you want to talk about destitution, go to Karamoja and come to Tororo or Busia, those areas. So to me, I don't understand why Karamoja is what it is, knowing that the indigenous people, and when we look at the indigenous law, that the indigenous people own land, including minerals. And if you want to excavate minerals, if you want to displace them, then you even compensate them with unequal. So if Karamoja or Karamoja, like in my area, is compensated with unequal, why are we so poor and why is death in our areas? Because if you look at my district, it is well known, it's a district that where burial is a passport. Burial is a passport to parliament. I think it's similar to Karamoja, that anyone who buries people there is assured of a seat in parliament because all you do is to bury people. So I don't understand. It is sad for me to listen to hear this Karamoja stories similar to what I saw in '98 when I was working in Moroto Hospital. That's my small contribution for now. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Can I also contribute on that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I first welcome my brother. You know, it has been a long time we last heard from one another. That's right, direct from Norway. He comes from my home ground as well. Vinyoro Kitara Diocese as well. So I welcome my brother. One thing I think that to me, I think our government is very much interested in maybe what every land that has got resources, they want to capture it in their own way. It is my thinking. Because Karamoja has a lot, has got Mabo, has got a lot of resources that are over there. So I'm thinking of I don't know whether it's the general, that man, the way he utter his words, he does not maybe calculate, does not add, doesn't minus, he just put the words anyhow. Because you can't tell us you are coming for the people in their own land when you are the real cause of the problem at the end of the day, and now you start threatening and intimidating our fellow Ugandans. It doesn't really make sense. I don't understand whether we have people who think of that Uganda, there's Uganda tomorrow after them. They're really killing everyone anyhow. And today evening, these guys, they said they're going to sleep in the bush with their arrows. So I don't know. I would like to see another war starting up afresh. I can't tell. So maybe that is my contribution at the moment.
It looks like the war is going to be started by the very people in government. The people who are supposed to protect Karamojong people are the same people who are starting a war against the Karamojongs. And I feel like, I haven't actually dug so deep into this, but I feel like the Karamojongs are known for defending themselves. And right now, they are standing up to defend themselves according to what is out there.
Hello, someone is saying it doesn't have audio.
Okay.
Mine is on. Mine is on.
It's probably on his end. I hope he's unmuted himself.
What do you mean? Johnny?
Yep.
Can you message him and see if he can unmute himself?
Okay.
Ask him if he can unmute.
Okay. Yeah, it could be I've muted himself.
Yeah, you have his number. Can you possibly message him?
Okay.
Because on my end, everything should be okay.
Because we need everybody's contribution.
Yeah, check. Send him a message and see what's going on.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Where are we capturing? Where is he communicating from? Is he in the north?
He's in Norway.
Norway, okay. Norway
Yeah.
ought to have a good internet.
He's in Norway. So I'm aware of the. I've been to Soroti. I think the farthest I've gone is Tororo Soroti, and I remember those beautiful rocks and the different minerals that are in this area. But then you could see that these areas are so run down. There's nothing infrastructure-wise to show that they actually have what they do have. And what I don't understand is why people like Salim Saleh is in Karamoja. Like, okay.
Salim Saleh is in Gulu.
Is in Gulu, sorry.
Yes, but that is part of the north, but Karamoja is northeast. You would almost say so. But still, it's like they're in charge of the same area. They control the same area.
Okay.
Their influence from there still affects the same area. And the people you are seeing with the bows and the arrows, those are people from Omoro. Omoro is where Speaker Olanya comes from, who has died.
Oh,
but then what we are seeing, the claim is that those people are preparing to protect themselves from Karamojongs. And then you're like, but ever since when? A place that has had disarmament, we even have what we call the anti-stock unit of the UPDF. Anti-stock, it is a special force in the UPDF that is used for to fight cattle rustlers. So this force has been there all along. There's a unit that stays in Karamoja, but now the turn of events, I mean, this leaves the whole, I don't know what Ahawe has, because Ahawe is on the ground. I wish she had interviewed somebody from Karamoja. It would be very good for us to have that information. And Ahawe, I think, I don't know whether I have, the person from Karamoja is on Twitter.
I reached out to one of them. I did reach out to him, and he hasn't. I reached out to him this morning, but he hasn't been able to. He probably hasn't read his messages yet. But he gave me his contact details, and he was supposed to send us more pictures and videos that he's been taking in the last few weeks. But he says things are really, really bad, and he's surprised that none of this is on mainstream media. The most recent pictures I saw, you're talking about Karamoja is bleeding, the Twitter handle Karamoja is bleeding.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, he's the one. I've reached out to him, but haven't heard back from him since morning. But he says he has a lot more. He has a lot, like some of the stuff he's put on Twitter, they've had to remove them because they were very, very, like, they were gruesome. I've seen pictures of men with their manhood pulled off, not even chopped off, but pulled off. Like, I
saw those gory pictures, and so these are all the same questions I'm also asking. That why now, and what is the anti-stalking unit doing? We have that unit that was created for protecting the border, because they used to think there was an incursion from Kenya. You know, rustling around that area is from across Kenya, Uganda, you know. But then what's the anti-stock unit doing? And we have had a disarmament process that took place in Karamoja, and we saw heaps of guns burnt.
Yeah.
So what is happening? All I know, Karamoja has minerals, as evidenced by the geologists who were killed. I personally, like I said, I worked in Karamoja in 1998. And the truth was, we had what we call the Italian Corporation. The Italian Corporation was a company. Okay, Italy had a company there that was exploiting minerals from Karamoja. That one I witnessed because I worked there. But you're like, why this level of destruction? Because if you look at the precious metals that Karamoja has, and then you look at people who are walking naked, if you look at the precious metals that Karamoja has, and you have people who only know an AK-47, if you look at the precious metals that Karamoja has, and then you only look at the people who look after cows, other than, you know, like what is happening? How come Karamoja has remained that backward?
Exactly. Sorry, Mr. Kayondo, I know you lost connection there, but I don't know if you've been able to follow so far.
I lost everything, but I think I lost when you started talking about Karamoja.
Right.
But now I got you back. I hear you well. I would like to introduce myself. I'm called Samuel Kayondo,
Right.
and I live here in Norway, Oslo. I've been here for like 25 years. I may not speak English very well, but I will do my best because here we speak another language, not English. I was born in Uganda, Kampala, Mulago, and grew up in some parts in Uganda. Grown up around Hoima. I've been in so many places in Uganda. I've also been in a place called Rwanda also. So I would like to know also what we are going to be talking about Karamoja. I just saw the tweet today. That's when I checked the general's Twitter. Today I saw it about Karamoja. And I didn't really understand. But when the Ahiba called me today, also he told me about what was happening in Karamoja. It's really very sad. But I'm not really surprised. Such things will happen. In fact, when we have this noise around here in Europe, I think so many things are going to happen because I don't think any European is listening when they have their own problems. They might be dealing on working on their problems here in Ukraine, and then they won't hear us. But I think we have to make the noise, the loudest noise, that they can hear us, because these are the people who are supporting that government.
Of course.
Yeah.
We also have the East African community, and I believe they wouldn't like to see one of their countries, one of the countries in the community being destabilized. But I don't know about what they would do. So another thing, the man whose name shall not be mentioned, the man with the mustache. Let's put it that way. The man with the mustache. He said one of his tweets. He said, "We are simply cattle keepers that want to look after our cows in peace. But we are also both warriors. That's well documented. Those who fight us will face a lot of problems." Sorry. So he's talking about the two, like, I don't know who is the other party, but he's talking one of the parties is the Karamojongs. So the Karamojongs are cattle warriors. So I'm wondering who is the other party fighting the Karamojongs, because he seems to be talking in parables here. So he's like, they are both. Who are the both? Right? So and recently we've seen like cattle being transported to this part of the region. And these people are taking away the Karamojong. From my understanding, they are bringing their cattle to graze from this area, and the Karamojongs are like, you cannot bring your cattle in our land. So the general said that they are both cattle warriors, and I'm asking myself, who are they both? If you're in Karamojong land, who is both of us?
Yeah, I think the Karamoja story is complicated. It's a complicated story in that people have taken advantage of them, because in between, as their cattle raids here and there, the Karamojongs themselves lose their cows because their cows are easy. Some of these fellas whom you call the unstock unit have been stealing cows from Karamoja under the pretext of you know, you pick cows that people can't identify, and then those cows disappear. But that said, we have a government in place that ought to protect the Karamojongs as a people. And you can't dispel the contribution of the Karamojongs. Let's look at Peter Lokeris. Let's look at the current chairman, Military Commission. I don't know what his name is. Dr. Hewa, you know, the chairman, Military Commission? That's general.
No,
The man
I don't have him in my mind.
The man who sits in the military court.
Oh, yes.
The one who's on hand.
Yes, yeah, that's a contribution from Karamoja. Then you had David Pulkol. Then you have the late Lokodo. All these are K-Jongs, and you're like, they just fitted in to fitted in government to feed and not speak for their people, because that's not how this government is people. You know, with a man in the military court martial, how do we forget that man? Because he has never tried you.
It's called the Guti.
Guti.
Yes. Colonel Guti. Yeah, you never know him. I try better know him. Yeah, so with such people at that level, surely, why should it be? No, this story is being told by people like me and you.
Yeah.
And yet these people have, you know, David Pulkol, Lokodo is the late. Then we have had Lokeris, we have had all these fellas. These are Karamojongs at this level that they should be speaking for Karamoja. But perhaps they speak for this government at the expense of their own people. At one time, there was even that general statement, we shall never wait for Karamoja to develop, but now 40 years now, these guys have minerals to talk about.
But even we don't know. Basically, for Karamoja, I don't know when the vice is called who, Minister of Education, the First Lady, when she was a minister in there, we thought things going to be very right. But even during her presentation when she was there, things didn't work out. So up to now, we don't know where we are heading. And the same process, we are seeing this general comes in and says, you are coming, we are coming for you for what? They should clearly stipulate and tell the world, we have some minerals, now we want to start, you know, some business over that side, other than starting by killing them, killing their cows and other things of that kind. So we actually, we can't tell where are we heading. You, Mr. Dr. Mgenyi over that side, we are likely to see now the war between the Karamojong and the UPDF.
Precisely.
I don't think even there's a war between the Karamojongs and the UPDF as yet. The people you saw with bow and arrows, those are people from Acholi. And the claim is they are protecting themselves against Karamojongs. Is that true, or there are people being disguised and armed? Because Dr. Ahewa, at this current state, with the Uganda that we have, when you still have people who can carry bow and arrows, that's a terrible image to see. Just think about what, I don't know whether you saw that group with bows and arrows.
Yeah.
I did.
That group was saying that it's protecting itself against Karamojongs, and you're like, but why? Where is the state? So how does it reach that? How do we reach that level where people pick up bows and arrows? So we're going to have maybe, first of all, an inter-tribal clash, and these people maybe are just taking it, or they are creating it. I mean, our country is a country in a free fall, like I described one time. It's like now you're allowing these clashes to take place, and for you want to come and be a parasite, or you take advantage of it. Who is creating this clash here? The Karamojongs have not been clashing with the Acholis, and we are seeing it happening, building up.
When you talk about we're going to see two tribes fighting each other, I was asking myself today, so who is going to protect these people if the very people who are supposed to protect them are actually telling us that they're going to go and fight them? I feel like they already decided this, and they sort of wanted to justify that they were fighting Karamojongs because Karamojongs were doing something. I think someone just joined us. Is that Dorcas? Can you unmute yourself, please? Hi, Dorcas. Can you unmute yourself? Someone who joined us.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi,
nice.
apologies. I can't turn on the camera because I'm up and about. I'm moving.
That's
Good
absolutely
evening. My
fine.
name is Dorcas. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you can introduce yourself, Dorcas. Some people may not know you here.
Yes, my name is Dorcas. I am in London. I'm a human rights activist, and I'm sorry I've joined late. So yes, I'm listening in on the conversation. I'm
It's
in a very
absolutely
noisy
fine.
place. Thank you.
Basically,
So,
Dorcas, we were talking about Karamoja, and since Karamoja has been part of our stand-up Uganda, because there are tweets and indications and indicators that things are not fine in Karamoja, and from the gory pictures that we have been seeing. And then today we are seeing a whole video of people with the bows and arrows preparing to protect, they claim to protect themselves from Karamojongs. On the other hand, we're like, you are seeing a tweet that is unpalatable, because how do you, as a member of the Uganda People's, I mean, even the name Uganda's People's Defense Force, say you're taking hell to Karamoja. We're bringing hell. Why bring hell to Karamoja, to an area where you had your own, I mean, your mother or your wife as a minister? There was a disarmament process in Karamoja that we saw. What was accompanying this disarmament process after we had it? Because this disarmament process must go with a process that you disarm and then give maybe a livelihood, maybe give you create another activity that stops cattle rustling, for example, which has been a mainstay for the Karamojongs. So it is sad, and we are talking about this. This is an area that has heavy. If you see the people who are killed, they were geologists. They didn't kill ordinary people. So the geologists are basically people who are studying rocks and minerals. You see? So they did not kill ordinary people. And then you're like, but why now? So it's a sad thing to follow. And like I said, one questions the intentions of this government after staying in power for 40 years. And then you look at Karamoja with the poverty indicators at 60%, the highest in the country. Those are difficult things, yes.
I saw somewhere, I think it was yesterday, I can't remember which channel, but someone was talking about yet to verify this information, that people are being bought off in Karamoja. They're offering them a certain amount of money if you have a Ndagamuntu and you're able to like verify who you are and everything. They give you money to leave that, I can't remember what, a few million shillings. And if you don't have one, they'll give you way less. I wish we could find someone to give us more information about this, but maybe Dr. Hewa can look into this in the near future. But that's what I've heard so far, that they're buying people off, and those who don't want to be bought are probably going to end up caught up in this whole saga.
Oh, man.
So on that note, I also wanted us to talk about the tribalism which is being stirred right now, because I feel like there is this a few people from a certain from a certain area that is ganging up against another area. And this has been like in the last few days, especially today, where we saw what's his name saying that, the Baganda people apparently went to demonstrate in Seattle, because yet their subject went to Germany and he used a presidential jet, and nobody said a thing without realizing that actually he went on KLM. But what do you people think about the tribalism, or have you seen anything along those lines that is being started at the moment?
No, let me make my last submission because I have to disappear. I have to go away.
Yes.
Okay.
To me, I think whoever has followed me up, you know, I'm one of the people who made a video that has remained viral and is still running on the dignity of dying. You know, if you don't manage death, the death process, yes, if death process is not managed, this is what you end up with. If you don't manage death process well, this is what you end up with, because in death, we have what we call disease, we have disability, we have destitution. Now, this is death that has thrown us into destitution as a country. Remember, we are a country that is heavily tribal. I mean, I have who is your member of parliament, if you can mention. Any of you can mention your member of parliament if he's not tribal. You man, I hear Ugandan. My member of parliament is a Samia. Because I come from Samia land.
My member of parliament would be in Nabanja.
Simply because you are living in Uganda, but if you are living in Rwanda, okay, I'm not Rwanda. I have a usually mistake if I'm from Rwanda. If you are living in Mbarara, if you are living in Mbarara where I got you, then your member of parliament will be from Mbarara. I know him because we met him I met him when he was young. So I know him. But we are simply tribal. And we hinge so much ourselves on our tribes. And then like I was giving you, like, if you look at my area, we look at our members of parliament as hope, especially us who are poor. So when our members of parliament, we push burial or death is a passport to parliament. So when we lose a member of parliament, like maybe those people in the north have lost Olanya, it really affects the community. So you have lost a tribal king, you have lost a tribal chief, you have lost a source of income. So in that state where we are as a country, which is very tribal, as seen by elections, even in parliament, when you mismanage a death process, which I have told people, when you mismanage death process, you end up in what we are having now.
Right.
We don't have anything that unites us as a value as a country. Take that from me. You can bank that. So we have our member of parliament because we are eating. When we say you're a minister, we talk about regional balance. We talk about, yes, with Catholics. So we still have those small things that are not value oriented. So any small disturbance like death of Olanya, trust me, we're in trouble. And the whole thing is that we have mismanaged the death process, which I've told you, because death, in medicine, there's death, there's disease, there's disability, there's destitution and death. So at the destitution level, people say, our person was bewitched, our person has been killed, our person has been poisoned. It's simply because we attach ourselves to our person. So you have that process. And that's what is causing us this chaos. Gentlemen and ladies, allow me to go.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
It's always a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much. James, I'm again signing off. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Mgeni. God bless you. Let's proceed.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Dorcas, what are your thoughts on the tribalism, if at all you've seen anything?
Hi. Personally, I think the NRM is just full of propaganda, and they try to really distract people from the truth. They know what they're doing is wrong and try and justify it, through various means. And they just do not, they want people to lose focus on really what is actually happening. So the actual truth is, so whether this the Kabaka was flown out in a private jet or not, it does not matter. We are discussing the issues of us not having proper health care in Uganda, and why isn't it available? All those funds and resources, why do they not utilize those resources if they're available to make healthcare better at home? So those are the things, and I sort of feel they really need to capitalize on that rather than making people see it they're painting a totally different picture. So it's just to distract people from, pinpointing what the actual truth is. I think we shouldn't give it so much of our time, because that is what the NRM is fond of doing.
Mm. You know what? I
Sorry,
agree
I
because
don't have my camera. Yeah.
no, it's okay. We seem to be spending more time talking about this, and people, of course, are triggered by, oh, the Kabaka didn't do this, and they touch the buttons that they know most people are going to react. It's going to trigger most people. So maybe they're distracting us from the fact that things are happening in Karamoja, and the circumstances surrounding the passing of the Speaker of Parliament, and whatever is going on in the process of re-electing another one or electing another one. Dr. Hewa, your thoughts?
Okay. Sorry. Basically, on my side, I may not give it a lot of time because we have major issues that are killing us in Uganda. And they're just trying to divert us, and we start thinking of tribal issues. And if we move on with this, and now that means you're going to say battle between Acholi and Baganda people.
It has started.
I think that's what they want to create. So to me, maybe the piece of advice, we don't need to discuss all these issues to the public of Uganda, because they are not directing us somewhere we should be going at the moment, because this government of ours, they create some topics to discuss and such that we can pay attention, and they want us to forget major issues. No, we shall kunga everything. We leave these tribalistic things. I don't have much to say on that, because
Samuel?
Yes, I think this everything what is happening is a diversion from what really happened. We all know that the government which is on, even if it was sworn in, it is legit. They are not supposed to be on. They will be creating things, situations whereby we will be pulled in to talk about things. So they will be making so many stories, I believe. So this is I expected.
Okay. And the final thing I wanted us to talk about was the fact that a certain group of people now believe that the next Speaker of Parliament should come from that area because that's what they deserve. Likewise, the people from where did the Bank of Uganda, Mr. Muteviri, where was he from? Kigezi?
I think it was from Kabale.
Kabale, yeah. So they believe that the next guy should come from that area. And now people are beginning to say, if we create that sort of culture, we'll look at we'll get a point in time where we'll go like, okay, the next president should be a Munyankole, right?
But I think we are full of that. We are full of these problems, whereby the discrimination. What would I call it? Tribal thing, tribal card.
Yeah,
is always being played.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what is even happening. Okay, I was also thinking, since this guy was flown out with the private jet, why was the Kabaka flown out with the KLM? Uh, I think Kabaka deserved it to be flown out up with this presidential jet, but he didn't get that. But we didn't talk about that since somebody tweeted on that. I saw it on the tweet.
Mm,
Uh, but when you talk about it, then you say Baganda, 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 Baganda.
yeah, of course, of course.
Uh,
Anyways, we're going to wind down. I don't know if you have any final words to leave our listeners. We seem to have lost Dr. Ahebwa.
I'm
yeah.
available.
Okay, cool.
Okay. To me, I'll just appreciating the participants that have been available here today, and maybe to remind them that we have started this going to be running at least twice a week, and we're going to be having a week review or a week roundup. And Mr. I request you can invite more, then such that maybe either Sunday we summarize what has happened the week, such that all guys in diaspora, we give them a chance to contribute to our nation. Buli muntu atekeke tofali, buli muntu wali ensi yaffe agitekeke tofali. Now are you Norway? You can invite more 10, the 10 invites the 10. Then to how we can build our nation, because we shall not, me hosting every time, I will not get tired, but it makes more sense when like I see Madam Moderator be nice to be maybe hosting us in that version. Maybe also, Mr. Gentleman, you can also be updating us what is happening in your country and how Ugandans are feeling, those are in Norway and others who are in US and things of that kind. So all day, all time, we request you to be participating. We shall make things move because we want to see our country smiling other than bleeding. Good evening.
Right. My final words before we close is anyone listening, the one thing I could say is we need to remember that we're all Ugandans, and whatever affects one person from one end of the country affects the other person. So whatever diversions they're trying to play, we should remember ultimately we are Ugandans first before we are these tribes, before we are any religion, and before we are any of these things. So we should remember that, and always remember not to fall for the diversions as they like to play them. And Dorcas, would you like to invite people to the Stand Up Uganda, to the listeners, because people on this channel might not know about it and which days it runs?
Thank you so much, Sarah. In closing, I actually would like to really highlight that there is a silent genocide in Uganda, and the plight of Ugandans has actually been overlooked by the international community and perhaps by the Ugandans on ground themselves, because we seem to have normalized death, suffering, torture. People are tortured on a constant basis. They're abducted and they go missing. They're detained illegally, and it has been normalized. People are on ground are not demanding for the missing. I know they're demanding, but we need to really find better ways of demanding for our people, and also to put an end to this silent genocide. The Karamojong have really been attacked, and of course they are being told to prepare for more terror. If anything, they already started attacking them a month or 2 months ago. We saw people being shot dead in Karamoja, and it is still happening. And there's so many other places as well. So the various deaths, so many people are dying daily, almost, I think, every minute. So for me, that is a silent genocide, and we shouldn't be quiet. We've got to keep speaking, and we've really got to arise and reclaim our nation and put an end to all these atrocities. So I would like to call on each and everyone to do whatever they can do, just like Sarah has said, regardless of your political affiliations, you do have to arise. Let us put an end to this. And Museveni has got to go. Okay. We do speak every Saturday. Uganda is bleeding. The platform is at Stand Up Uganda on Twitter. We hold Twitter spaces as well. But the Saturday program is normally 5 p.m. Uganda time, that's East African time. And it actually encourages us to speak up and highlight all these atrocities. And we drum on the fact that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So somebody might be thinking Uganda is so remote and they are safe, but it isn't. We just saw recently one of the Spanish reporters that got killed in an accident. Not well, I don't know the circumstances surrounding her death, but there's so many other people. So someone in Spain might be thinking, oh, this is so remote, you know. But guess what? That injustice it causes injustice everywhere else, you know. So we've got to really be mindful and let us keep speaking. Let us expose and expose and expose. So arise, guys, and we speak Saturday, 5 p.m. Ugandan time. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Brilliant. And Samuel, final words?
Yeah, I think I could add up to what the sister has said. You know, we are all Ugandans, and what is happening, you know, in Uganda is really very sad. I have not really got that time to go and look up on the Twitter about Karamoja, but I'll check out that. But I know there are so many things that have been happening, like the Kakwenza story, you know, but it's not the first time. But like we who live here in Europe, we feel so bad because we have seen what we have here in Europe and would want maybe to transfer it to Uganda. And when we look and see what is happening in Uganda, we feel so sad. So to end up on this, I would just like to say maybe that we could try and try to speak up and help our friends in Uganda also to fight what is happening there.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Everyone listening, look for hashtag End Torture in Uganda, look for hashtag Stand Up Uganda, look for hashtag Karamoja is bleeding. These are major hashtags, especially on Twitter. And please, if you see one, retweet, do whatever you can to amplify the message. Thank you all so much. And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye.